Leonard Leans Left while it's still legal. Still legal today. I got kicked out of the chat again, so I had to log back in. That's why I'm good evening. How are you? Me and Laura went to a thing the other night called a candlelight concert. If you've never been to one, I highly recommend it. It's hold on. Let's see. It is a concert where string quartet plays music from various things. They had a Taylor Swift one, they had a Beyonce one, they had like the music from Star Wars. They have a bunch of different ones, but this one we went to was Queen. It was all Queen music, and it was oh man, I don't remember the fucking password. It was very, very nice. It was in an old theater. And very good experience. It was like going back in time. Anyway, I don't know if you've been following what's going on, but we have officially attacked Venezuela. So I would say that we are at war, but they're not attacking us, so I would say that that's not really a war. We're more kind of just bullying them around. I don't know what that's all about. All right, finally got in. So if you're watching, the chat is live now. I don't know why it kicks me out sometimes. Anyway, so we struck another couple boats, and the death toll is now over 100 people that they've killed, off the coast of Venezuela, either in the Pacific or in the Caribbean, and Trump says that they took out some dock where they load these drug boats, but he wouldn't say where it's Liam's birthday. Happy birthday, Liam. I just did. Liam, happy birthday. Anyway, it was just my birthday 2 days before Christmas, so I understand your pain with the right around Christmas birthday. Laura thinks I was making it up, like how shitty it is. Like, it's like I said, it's not that shitty when you're an adult, but when you're a little kid and your birthday is like sandwiched in between Christmas and New Year's and all these other things that people care about. What's up, Makayo? How are you? Thank you for joining us. Or me, I should say. Thank you for joining me and the voices in my head. You know, when I started this show in March of this year, I've said many times, I'm a comedian. I was a comedian. All I did was stand-up comedy. All I did was travel and tour for almost 3 years. I quit everything and I made a living doing stand-up comedy. And I've been doing it way longer, but I mean, that was when I cut the cord and was like, I'm going to be a full-time comedian and only do comedy. And I worked many, many years to get to that point. If you don't know anything about the entertainment industry, it takes a long time to build yourself up to the point where you can carry yourself as an artist and make money. And my mom had my stepfather died, my mom's husband, and my mom is in poor health, so she needs someone to look after her. So I had to quit doing that, come home, and I never did a podcast because it was cliche, you know, and everybody has a podcast. And it's like now I'm concentrating on doing actual stand-up. I don't want to be known as an internet podcaster. But then when I was here for so long and I couldn't tour and do comedy, I started to go nuts. It's like I have to be able to to do something. So I started this show. And anyway, started the show with a very loyal following of about 5 people. But over this year, it has grown. And the trolls are even coming out, which means that we're onto something here. So that's when you know you're onto something, when the trolls start appearing. Then they can't help but say something, because I don't know why people feel the need to do that. But, well, I guess I do. Anyway, the following of this show has grown substantially. Like, I'm still not like, I'm not thousands and millions of viewers, but there's a lot more than I anticipated. With little or no, like I said, I don't take Russian money to. I'm not part of a Russian propaganda network like Tim Pool and Betty Johnson, and that's why they have millions of followers and I don't. But for just a guy in the basement doing a show like this, it has substantially grown, and I thank you for that. It's been an interesting year, obviously. I don't know if you saw this last week or last episode. I was talking about how the guy canceled the Christmas concert because Trump put his name on the Kennedy Center, and now they're trying to sue him for $1 million. Whoa! More artists are dropping out. They had to cancel the New Year's Eve concert because that artist dropped out, and the more artists are dropping out. Soon it'll be the Trump Kennedy Memorial Center concert featuring Kid Rock and Kiss, and maybe they'll bring out Lee Greenwood to sing his one. Maybe he'll do like a 45-minute fog hat slow ride type extended version of God Bless America, since that's really the only song I can ever think of that Lee Greenwood ever made. He's drawing, just like he's making the White House look like a trailer inside of a trailer. He's also turning the Kennedy Arts Center into a redneck-a-thon. Anyway, so Trump says that well, now it came out that it was the CIA that did it, but somebody drone striked some dock in Venezuela, but they won't say like where it is or really give much specifics, just like anything they're doing. Just like these drug boats that they say. They're drug boats with narco-terrorists in them that we didn't bring back for tryout. They're survivors. We either blew the fuck out of them or we sent them back to their countries. Because these are dangerous criminals. It doesn't make any sense, like anything else. But again, like no information whatsoever. And no pushback from Congress. Nobody in Congress is asking them to come to Congress to have hearings to figure out what is this evidence that you're using to decide who these people are that you're blowing up randomly in the fucking ocean. Because if you ask me, if they are, like I said, drug dealers and terrorists and all these things that they say they are, then why are they afraid to come and tell us what it is? And now he's striking inside of the country of Venezuela, which is an act of war. I mean, there's no other way around it. You're attacking someone inside their sovereign territory. It is an act of war. Which we haven't declared war, on Venezuela, but when you're attacking inside of a country, that's an act of war. It's just like Putin shooting drones and missiles into Ukraine. It's an act of war. And if you're shooting into peaceful cities and killing civilians, it's a war crime. But apparently a war crime is in fashion now because everyone does it and no one gets caught. Netanyahu has stretched the bar of like what is a war crime, and now here they are trying to scapegoat the Somalis just like they did to the Haitians before the election. They're trying to pull the same thing that they did during the election, which is to, like I said, scapegoat an entire community, like the Haitians when they said they're eating your cats and dogs and all that shit. Um, Now they're doing it to the Somalis in Minnesota because there was some fraud going on up there. Which I don't know if you know this, but fraud goes on everywhere. And this is not even a new story. This is something that happened in like 2017 or some shit, and they've been investigating it ever since. And it turned out the ringleader of most of the fraud in Minnesota was a white woman, and she was prosecuted and convicted of this fraud. But that doesn't stop them, does it, from pretending that it's all Somalis and it's all new, and because they're just cooking up another distraction for the election season. Because my mom, who I said watches Fox News, which I don't know why, it's like a drug. You know, once people get hooked on it. And people always say, like I used to do it too. You know, you watch or listen to Fox News or listen to right-wing radio because you're like, well, I want to hear what they're saying. You know, but after so long that you listen to it, you realize they're not saying anything. Almost everything they say is lies and bullshit. And like I've described on this show before, usually there's a very tiny kernel, sliver of truth underneath a mountainous pile of huge bullshit that they extrapolate out from that little bit of truth. Because the little bit of truth is, was there fraud in Minnesota? Yes. Now, is it a systematic Somali gang of fraudsters who's like, no, but that's what they want you to think. And there's also a bunch of young right-wing males. I don't know if you've seen this trend online. It's a bunch of young right-wing males that want to be Charlie Kirk or want to be James O'Keefe or want to be, you know, like they want to be, you know, they're influencers that they call them. But really all they are is bullshit artists and propagandists. And they take their cues from, like I said, the Charlie Kirks of the world, the Benny Johnsons, the Tim Pools, I mean, there's a huge amount of them. But now you're looking at, like I said, young, like this kid, I think his name was Nick Shirley or something like that. He went around and tried to he made a list of every daycare center he could find in Minneapolis and went around, and then he was filming and trying to go inside, and then people are obviously, you know, trying to keep him out because it's a fucking daycare center full of children, and then they're like, look, why don't they want us to see it? It's like, because adults shouldn't be going into aren't these the people that were against the pedophiles? Right? But they don't understand the principle that, hey, maybe you wouldn't allow grown men to come walking into a school full of children. It's like, because with the camera and filming shit, because and who are you? I'm Nick Shirley. It's like, who the fuck are you? It's not. There's not a real press. He's like a guy like me with just a clip a microphone onto his shirt, and he's like, let me come in and look at the children. That's not creepy at all. And then these people are Somalis, so that they're not even really Americans. So to them, I'm sure it's double weird. And they're like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And they go, look, they won't let us in. That's proof that it's fraud. Like, no, it's not. It's not. But, of course, that doesn't stop them from doing it and stop people like J.D. Vance and Elon Musk from retweeting his bullshit video, which made it get millions of views. And now this kid is famous. And he'll have his own Project Veritas soon. I don't know if you know what Project Veritas is, but it's the organization that James O'Keefe founded years and years and years ago to do the same thing, to create right-wing propaganda on the internet. And he is such a fucking piece of shit fraudster that they had to make him step down from running his own company. He's not allowed legally to be associated with Project Veritas anymore. That's why The company that the propaganda agency that he founded himself. He's not allowed to be part of it legally because of a court case. And the people at Veritas kind of voted to kick him out because he's a piece of shit. None of these people are honorable people. That's the thing that's the most hilarious about it is the right wing in this country has just become a shit, like I said, a shit bag of fucking grifters, liars, fascists, Nazis, racists. It's like all the worst elements of humanity have coalesced to become the mega movement. That's why it never gets over like 30%, because it really is the worst of the worst. Like Hillary Clinton called it a basket of deplorables, but I think that's like being kind. Like it's way worse than that. These are the most horrible people on the face of the earth. They're racist, xenophobic, fascist, fucking, like I said, radical Christian, religious fucking nuts who believe that Donald Trump was sent by God to help them restore order to the world. That's really what they believe. That's why all this shit is happening. Meanwhile, Trump is trying to stop the Ukraine war, which I thought he said he'd stop on day one. But we are now at the end of the year and it's still going on. But for some reason, I don't know if you've noticed this, but for some reason, every time they're about to have a meeting, or like he wasn't even meeting with Putin, he's meeting with Zelensky. But before he meets with Zelensky, he's got to call Putin. Then after he meets with Zelensky, he's got to call Putin. And then people still say that it's a hoax to say that there might be some kind of connection between Putin and Trump. It's a hoax. It's a hoax, but I gotta call and check in with my boss before I go to the meeting. Gotta find out the talking points that he wants me to say. But it's all a coincidence. Just like the Epstein thing. It's all a coincidence or a hoax. It's like, it's such a hoax that we have to stall this release and black everything out because it's all a hoax. It's like, when they said they found 1 million new documents, did you see that? This shit's been going on now for a decade or more. These investigations. And they're like, just all of a sudden, they're like, whoa, we found 1 million new documents. And people believe it. That's the other thing that I've noticed. Maybe I was naive when I was young, but I used to believe it, the press, not to believe the press, because I always knew that there's agendas out there and people have, that's why I was trying to stick to factual. Like, I just want factual news. I want to know what happened, when it happened, where it happened, who was involved, and how this might affect me somehow. But I'm not interested in someone else's opinion, obviously. I have my own opinions about a lot of things. But I've noticed now that because the media has been bought by these corporate oligarchs who have real agendas, that you can't even trust that anymore. Like when Trump, like I said, when Trump stands up there and tells 100 lies in a 20-minute ramble, provable, easily provable lies, disprovable, I should say, and no one says anything. No one challenges him. No one calls him out. They just let him spew complete bullshit. Unchecked, unchallenged. You know that you are through the looking glass now. Like what we're seeing and experiencing is becoming, like I've been saying for a while, it's becoming like North Korean levels of ridiculous bullshit coming from the government. You know, and the government is so untrustworthy now that you can't. There's all this stuff. All the mega people, right? The hardcore people. They want him to go after the people of January 6th, the people who investigated January 6th and prosecuted those rioters and put them in prison. Well, they want them to go after them, and there's a statute of limitations. It's about to expire. It was the other day. It was 11 days, so I think it's probably under 10 days now that they have left to file charges against anyone if they want to. But they can't, because that's what I mean about they live in a fantasy delusion of lies and swimming in a sea of complete bullshit. And when it comes time for them to prove these things in court, like Mike Lindell or Rudy Giuliani or whatever, just like what they just did now. Like, now they're trying to say that Rudy was wrongfully convicted, right, for all the things that he did, because they found out that some clerk didn't sign a paper at the end of the election to certify their votes. They just, what's up? It's a simulation. To certify the votes, they have to sign a certification paper. Well, some clerk didn't sign the fucking paper. But that doesn't invalidate all the votes. It doesn't make those votes invalid, but that's not what they say. They say, oh, look, they fraudulently counted 350,000 votes. Like, that's not what happened. It's a clerical error. That's what I mean by almost all of their bullshit is like this. It's a formula they use. Like I said, something happened. Yes, what happened? It was a clerical error when the clerk of the election board of election of that county or whatever didn't sign the paper before he turned in the shit, right? So there was no signature on the paper. But that doesn't mean that those votes are invalid or don't count, or that those people didn't vote. It just means that the guy forgot to sign the fucking paper. Well, that becomes, all of a sudden, 350,000 illegal votes. And, like, that's not true. In fact, it's a blatant lie. But that doesn't stop. And then the right-wing machine takes off. And this is on Benny Johnson and Tim Pool. And this is on Fox News and OAN and Newsmax. And they have a machine. And Elon Musk is on X or Twitter, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and he's saying all this stuff. This is all been fake. These votes are fraudulent. They're not fraudulent. The thing that I find the most terrifying about it is that it's like I used to be like that. Now it's true that a big majority of mega people, including the ones who are working for Trump, are fucking stupid and incompetent, ignorant. They don't know anything about what they're doing. Okay. But some of these people know exactly what they're doing. And they lie to you on purpose. And they create these lies for the stupid people because they know that they'll eat it up. And they have millions of them. So they just spit some bullshit out into the universe and it becomes real. Because, like I said, the machine pumps it out. Just like this Somali thing. It's not a new story. It's a recycled story. What that kid did, basically, was take a story that he saw on the local news somewhere about some fraud, and he just extrapolated that out, and then walked around and pretended like he was a journalist. They go, oh, look at this kid doing some reporting. Like, he's not doing reporting. He's just walking around the daycare centers and freaking people the fuck out on camera. And then selectively editing these encounters to make it look like there's something shady going on. And really what's going on is they're going, why is this fucking 23-year-old man trying to get into a daycare center and why he's filming shit? Which makes people nervous. And then he goes, look, they're nervous. That proves to you that they're fraudsters. It's like, that's not proof. And that's not journalism. Journalism is like getting the facts and getting a story and like being able to back up your claims with actual fucking evidence of fraud, not to just have a camera in front of a place and people are nervous. You go, look, they're nervous and they won't let us in. That means there's fraud, you know. And people go, yeah, they're bad to fraud. Which I say to him, okay, you know, if that's fraud, that's cool. Now, do the South. Go down south. There's a lot of fraud going on down south, brother. And it ain't Somalis doing it. Plenty of, oh yeah, wait, the systematic white fraudsters like Rick Scott, who stole billions, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars from Medicare. It's been documented. Was not prosecuted. Why? Why is that? But another fraudster was pardoned by Trump. Guy, let me find this guy. Philip S. Forms ran a massive nursing home fraud scheme, bribing doctors to funnel patients to billing Medicare for unnecessary services for $1.2 billion. He was pardoned by Trump in 2020. And was simply recently rearrested for committing new crimes. What's the difference between this guy and these Somali people? Oh, he's white. Huge difference. Brett Favre stole millions of dollars from the Mississippi welfare program. Proven. Nothing ever happened to him. Nothing. He wasn't even prosecuted. Why? He's Brett Favre. You ever seen that man throw a football? You can't put him in jail. Brett Favre was like one of the... That was disappointing because when he played, you wanted, you had to admire him. He was a tough player, man. And he was good, and he was the kind of player you like to watch. He was a quarterback with a rifle arm and wasn't afraid to fucking chuck it in there in double coverage. And you liked the way he played. And he was tough. As they beat him up, he'd get back up. He'd play. It was great. And then he took the helmet off. You're like, oh man, the guy's a dick. That's what they say. You don't ever want to meet your idols or whatever because you find out that they're just assholes. Now you don't like their fucking music as much or whatever. Like the Brett Favre highlights don't hit as hard anymore when you realize that he's a fucking piece of shit fraudster. But was he? And did Trump and them go after him? No. This is a fucking cooked up story, like I said, to distract you during the election from the terrible job that they're doing. And they keep spewing out these false numbers. I don't give a fuck what you say. The economy did. The GDP did not grow 4.6%. I don't buy that for one fucking second. Just like, there's no inflation. Like, there's inflation, bro. Like, I work in the store. Like, I see the prices go up. They've been going up all year. And some bills have tariff charges on them. They didn't tell me that we don't pay the fucking tariffs. It's on the bill. Like I said, we're at North Korea levels of complete bullshit. The government, you can't trust the government anymore. Like, not that you ever... I mean, see, this is the thing, is there used to be a machine, right, of people who were just numbers people, and they weren't into politics. And they were the ones who made the economic numbers and the jobs numbers and all that stuff, because they're just bureaucratic statisticians or whatever. They don't have their stake in the fight. They're just people that do statistics and whatever you want to call that. But Trump cleared all these people out. Trump has cleared out the entire federal government, almost all of it, and replaced it with drooling nutlickers, most of whom don't even know anything about the position that they hold. Like RFK, for instance. He's not a fucking doctor. He's the head of Health and Human Services. He's not even a doctor. What were they got helping him? Dr. Oz. He's not a fucking doctor either. Dr. Oz, doctor in name only. You might as well have Dr. Phil. It's like, Dr. Oz is just like a slightly more sophisticated version of Dr. Phil. It's like this guy. I saw this guy was he wrote this post. I never even know who he was. He's one of these random posts that keep popping up on my Facebook feed. I've been telling you about. There's all these right wing pages. For some reason, Facebook has decided to push me right wing propaganda. I don't know why that is. That's why I keep asking, am I the only one that this is happening to? Because it seems like it's a lot more than in the past. My Facebook feed itself, when I go to scroll through it, is filled up with shit that I don't even follow. It's just suggested for you, or written next to the guy's name says follow. You know, it's all right wing bullshit. It's like some guy that rants from his patio in Florida. I'm always like, who the fuck are these people? I don't even know. And this Nick Shirley guy, he popped up because, like I said, there's algorithms that try to feed all this stuff. And see, this is what people don't get is if you let the oligarchs control all of, like I said, the internet with their algorithms, they can tweak these algorithms to brainwash you however they want. And since Trump has taken office, my feed is inundated with Trump-type shit. Nut-licking pages, and like I said, the White House page, the Homeland Security page, and it's propaganda. But it's like being force-fed into my Facebook feed. Ken says, RFK is a fucking junkie. Yes, with a brainworm. Now, I don't begrudge people who've done drugs, because I've done drugs. I've done quite a lot of drugs in my life. I don't do that much anymore, but I most definitely have partaken in drugs, so I don't hate him for that. What I'm saying is he ain't a fucking doctor. He never went to medical school. They say he's a lawyer, but I never seen him in court. Can you imagine him being a lawyer? It's talking like that. It's like my cousin Vinny's or some shit. It's like, Your Honor, my client is a... He's take fucking a whole day to do his opening statement. And the jury go, what? What'd he say? I'm not an impressionist, so I can't do a very, very good impression of it, but you get what I'm saying. It's like the man is he doesn't know anything about what he's talking about. All these people are like middle-aged or senior citizens who have been reading internet propaganda and watching Fox News for the last 20 years. And this is what comes out. A bunch of people that don't know much about anything except complete bullshit. And Trump is a complete bullshit artist. And he saw the opening. He was like, oh, hey, I can take control of this shit. And Bannon would like to, but he looks like a fucking bum, you know. So, and he can't stop drinking long enough to actually do something, you know. So, he's got to be like a behind-the-scenes guy. Because I said, you know, with Steve Bannon out there. So Trump was the perfect vehicle for that. And Trump is an aggrieved fucking asshole, white supremacist jerk-off who believes that he's better than everybody else. He never liked black people. He wanted to kill those Central Park kids who turned out to be innocent. He wrote a big... he felt the need... Donald Trump at that time was a private citizen. But he felt the need to write an op-ed in the New York Times about how these kids should be executed. These young black kids who were accused of raping that woman in Central Park. And he said they should be executed. Well, they weren't executed, but they were convicted and sent to prison. And years later, proven to be innocent. You say, Trump's not a racist, but he felt the need to come out of private citizenry to voice his opinion that these young black kids should be killed. That's the part of the Trump thing that I don't get, is that it's all so blatantly in your face. The whole thing is a grift, and it's like a snake. He's like a snake oil salesman, and what he's selling is complete bullshit. It always has been. Trump's not a brilliant businessman. Trump is a guy who inherited $450 million from his rich father. He didn't make that money. Anyway, here's an example. And this is from the Midas Touch. But Trump tells supporters in a new fundraising email that if they don't donate to him within the next hour, Democrats will steal their tariff rebate checks and give them to illegals. That the country is boiling over. And only an immediate cash transfer to him can stop total disaster. And then here it is there's an AI video of Trump with a boiling pot, right? And it says, troubles are boiling over. Here's 3 reasons I need you to stop the boil. Here's 3 reasons I need you to stop the boil now before my end of the year fundraising deadline. 1, rebate checks on the line. I want $2,000 tariff checks for workers. Dems want to send your checks to illegals if you don't respond in the next hour. 2, last mandatory fundraising report of the year. Reaching our final goal of the year determines everything. To elaborate, it's very likely that our success or failure at reaching this goal will determine whether we keep the Senate and House majority in 2026. We're walking on razor-thin ice. Number 3, stopping communism. It's like the greatest hits of complete bullshit. AOC, all the boogeymen are coming out. AOC, Zoran Mamdani, and Ilhan Omar have taken over the Democrat Party with a communist agenda. Please, my deadline expires in less than 48 hours and we're still so far away from our goal. Stand with Trump. MAGA can't afford to wait any longer. Only a massive and immediate response will do. I need you to help me hit my end of the year fundraising goal by midnight tomorrow, or everything we've worked so hard to accomplish could go bye-bye. It's a fucking grift, bro. You're getting ripped off. You're sending your money to a fucking billionaire. People in a trailer who are probably struggling to get by, or to have health care, or to have food, or to keep their fucking heat on in the wintertime, or gathering up spare money to send it. Because Trump needs our money. Meanwhile, he's made like $1 billion since he's been president. And he needs your money. What kind of a system is this? And they go, communism is so much worse. Really? Oh, yeah. Please send us $25. Only 1 million people would send us $25. We have 25 million people, or $25 million. Steve Bannon was caught stealing money from the megas, and he's still a prominent figure in the conservative movement. And people listen to what he says, they love him. They're masochists, bro. And you say bootlickers, like they're bootlickers, but not only are they bootlickers, they're like the kind of bootlickers that want them to please step on my throat. It makes me hard, you know. It's like turns me on. It's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen. I've never seen. I never thought that I would live. And they all cry so much. They're always crying. Like there was these Christians on today. They're suing CNN for defamation. They say CNN denigrates Christians on a regular basis by reporting the things that we do. It's like, they're going to the Supreme Court. It's so fucking stupid. It's funny. But here's another one. Here's Rob Schneider was on the Epoch Times, which is I don't know if you know the Epoch Times. It's a fucking right wing fucking piece of shit rag. I don't know who runs it. I think somehow it's affiliated with Ben Shapiro somehow. I don't know, but Rob Schneider says Mark Ruffalo can say whatever he wants against Trump and he'll still get work as an actor. But if an actor like me dares question the tribe of Democrats, that's it. You're out of Hollywood. You're like, well, there's also the fact that Mark Ruffalo is a 4-time Academy Award winning, Academy Award nominee. He's never won one yet, but he's been nominated 4 times for his acting performances. And Rob Schneider is fucking terrible. It's like, no, bro, it's your lack of talent and actual ability to act that keeps you from working. It's like Kevin Sorbo says the same thing. You have a Hercules, right? He hasn't done anything since Hercules. And he blames it on his politics. But it's like, no, dude, you suck. You're a terrible actor. It's like I was watching this movie. I was trying to tell somebody. I was watching this movie, right? And it was not a good movie, but it was a western, right? And I like westerns, so I'm like, oh, watch this western. So I'm watching it. And we're like, man, is this movie gonna get any better? Because it's not very good, you know. And you're like, but during the process of watching it, I kept seeing this guy, and I'm going, hold on, who is that guy? I recognize him, but I can't put my finger on who he is. And then about halfway through the movie, I realized, hey, wait a minute. That's Machine Gun Kelly. And then I was like, you know what? It's kind of impressive, Machine Gun Kelly, like, to absolutely suck at everything. Like, he's like the opposite of Donald Glover. Donald Glover, childish Gambino. Donald Glover. He's a great actor. He's a great musician. He's a great writer. No, he's great at everything. He's a great dancer. He makes films, and they're fucking pretty good. And Ken says Rob Schneider's a stapler, yeah. But I saw years ago he did a stand-up special, and I watched this Donald Glover stand-up special, and I was like, oh my god, whew. Like, thank God he's not great at everything. He's just mediocre at stand-up. He wasn't terrible, but he wasn't great. You know, it was just mediocre. You're like, okay, yes, I know, Laura. You like a lot of questionable stuff. Anyway, so Glover is like, he's good at 99% of stuff and not so good at the stand-up, right? But Machine Gun Kelly's at the opposite. He's fucking terrible at everything. Shitty rapper. His punk music sucks. And now he's in movies. He can't fucking act. Where did this guy come from? Someone is heavily invested. Yes, Laura. That is true. You are dating me, so that does lend credence to the theory that maybe you have questionable taste. This is true. I would say. Hey man, you knew what you were getting into. That's right. That's one thing I don't do is pretend to be someone else. And my feelings about stuff are not hidden; they're way out there. uh, but like I said, it's their whole entire persona is victimhood. Remember, that used to be the people who were like, stop crying and put your bootstraps up and, like, take charge of your life. You can't blame other people for your trouble. And somehow down the line, it turned into, we're the victims of... Everyone's out to get us. And Christmas is under attack, and Christianity itself is threatened. I'm being canceled by the woke mob. It's like a bunch of crybaby bitches, really. It's like the troll guy came out. Some guy left a comment on my last episode. It was like, never heard of you. And now I know why. It's like, well, you've heard of me now, motherfucker. And you left a comment that helps hit my algorithm. So thank you very much. Move on about your shitty day. Go tell someone else how terrible they are. It's like, he watched enough, didn't he, to figure out that I don't like this guy. I tried to put it up front. It says Bruce Leonard Leans Left. That pretty much tells you what the show is going to be, I would think. Like, I did that on purpose. It's like, See, this is the problem with us. Is that Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, all these fucking guys, Shapiro, Tucker Carlson, they have millions and millions of loyal Rogan, millions and millions of loyal listeners who tune in to listen to what they say. There's a bunch of these guys. It's a whole machine, like I said. But we don't do that. Who do we got? We use late night comedians. It's my voice, bro. It's years and years of screaming and yelling in rock bands and smoking cigarettes and drinking and doing cocaine. I already had an unusual voice to begin with. I just seasoned it up with a bunch of there's elves in the machine. Yeah, maybe, perhaps. Perhaps that is the case. I do find it odd that through all of this year and all of the things that Trump has done, all the way that he pushed the envelope and all the things that he's trying to do to expand presidential power, which some would say are authoritarian or whatever, not one bit of pushback from the Congress except on the Epstein thing. And even that, now he's flaunting that law that they passed and he signed. Are they doing anything about it? No. I think Ro Khanna and well, you had to bring the Jews into it, didn't you? Why is that? I never understood that. Well, I mean, being persecuted is part of the Jewish identity. I get that part, but people actually do it. It's like, that's the other part. It's like, well, there's some truth to it, Yes, it is, my friend. Anyway, Ro Khanna and Massey keep saying they're going to file inherent contempt charges against Pam Bondi after the holidays. Now, we'll see if that happens. But I find the very fact that people don't find it fishy, that they don't want to release these files. I've grown to believe It's way past and beyond Trump. There's a lot more to it that they don't want you to know because these are the wealthy. Like I said, the more and more names keep coming out of people who are, tagging around and hanging around people, including the Saudi royal family. I believe that this is Epstein was servicing the most rich and powerful people all over the world, not just Trump. And Trump just happened to be his buddy, but everyone knows that. That's what I mean. That's why it doesn't make any sense. It's like, well, if you were just his friend and you had nothing to do with it, then why are you afraid to release these files? Because it ain't. It's more than just about him. It's about the entire network and machine of. I don't know if you saw this. I just saw this before I came on. And this is true. And it happens to be a strange coincidence, I believe. Where is it? Find it. Yes, pretty much every billionaire that owns a super yacht is in St. Barth right now for New Year's Eve. Jeff Bezos, Miriam Adelson, Shad Khan, Sergey Brin, Jerry Jones, and 100 plus others. All the super yachts are pulled into one place so they can celebrate the new year together where they have officially taken over the world. Meanwhile, I keep saying, AI is going to tell her he's going to come and take over your business. AI is going to ruin you, take your job. And you're like, dude, they can't even get the systems that they have in these businesses working right now. You think this AI is just going to come tomorrow and take your job? The fucking AI is dumb as fuck right now. It can't do anything. AI is the biggest sham I think I've seen in a long time. Now, is it cool? Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm talking to the chat GPT, and it's almost like talking to a person. Almost. Till it starts telling your kid to off himself and shit like that. Like that shit has happened. Meanwhile, there's no regulations whatsoever on this industry. They're just running wild and putting this stuff out into the fucking world. And there's trillions of dollars tied up in AI investment. That's why they keep saying that. They have to produce something. If they don't, the bottom will crash out of it. And a lot of people lose a lot of money. That's why I was saying before, I don't believe that the system works. The system is, hey, we got an idea. Give us $1 billion and it might work out. But a lot of times it doesn't work out. And what happens to the $1 billion? Up in flames. Like the South Park episode. And it's gone. It's like because it's all on paper. It's all theoretical. They're funding all these businesses that don't make money. And we were talking about the other day, and we're looking up all these businesses like Uber and shit. And like Uber finally made a profit. But Grubhub, DoorDash, all these fucking businesses, they don't make money. They don't make a profit. It's like, here's a business. It could make a profit someday. And people invest in it, and they take that money, and that's how they run the business. But they're not making any money, so they're just burning up money, really. So you can have your local Chinese restaurant delivered to your door. It's like, nigga, this is the most innovative society on the planet. Really, is it? I don't believe so. It's all a fucking sham, I said. Yes, they fucked everything up. It wasn't just them. None of your business. Thank you for tuning in, by the way. Everyone's fucked everything up. I weird nexus of like my generation was born in a weird time because I said when I was born there were no computers, there were no cell phones. You know, we still had fucking landlines and We got the pager. And when I was in high school, we got the pager. Like, that was the first thing that happened. And then the cell phone came, but the cell phone was, like, not accessible to regular people. It was only rich people could buy it. It was like a big, giant briefcase thing, but it worked. Dude had in the car. I remember the first time I ever saw a cell phone. My dad's friend, who was one of these people that always had to be, act like he's cool, had a Mercedes, and he had to get the cell phone because that was the thing. The rich people, hey, look, I got the cell phone. It's a status symbol. So he came over to visit us. I was in like the 8th grade, I think, and he goes, look at the car phone. Like, he showed it to us. Like, I was looking at him. Oh, that's cool, man. Can I go inside and call you? And he was like, no, because it costs like $100 a minute. If I answer the phone, $50. It's like, it was not practical to use it. It's just the status symbol that they had. But then the phone started getting, like I said, they got it to work, so it would fit in your pocket. It was like, oh, it's a flip phone now. Right? You can make calls and text on it. Oh, that's cool. And then they figured out how to make a computer in your pocket. So in my lifetime, we've gone from no computers to a computer in your pocket, or a computer right here in front of me that I can broadcast on to the world, theoretically. I mean, it is true. People in England and Germany have been watching this show, and actually my viewership has been going up in those countries. It's still like, it was like 4%, and then it was 5%, now it's 6%, but like people in Canada, England, Germany are watching my show. Not a lot of them, but like I said, people are watching. So I am broadcasting to the entire planet from my basement. And like I said, when I was born, we all had landlines. There was still like party line calls. Remember that, where you could get your neighbor on the phone with you? I don't know what the purpose of that was. But you wanted to have 3 or 4 people on the phone. You all talk together. It's like not like trying to have a conversation with three other people that you can't see. Everybody stepping on each other because they don't know when the next person's going to start talking. It's humorous. But the world has changed so much and so fast, and now it's AI. And then, like I was saying before, if you watch this show, I've discussed this a few times, but they just put it out, right? It seems like a year ago, right? It wasn't that long ago. A year ago, maybe 2 at the most. They were like, we invented AI. Like, oh, really? Well, this is going to be cool in, 10 or 20 years. And then they were like, here's AI. You could get it at the App Store. Like, what? They just put it out. Do you think they knew the dangers of it or what? No. They're experimenting on it, with it, on you. Which is why, like I said, it helped talk this kid into unaliving himself, And then now they're being sued by the parents of that kid because, fuck yeah, they shouldn't have put that out there. The chap actually told the kid not to tell his parents because they would stop him. Which is true, but that's not what you want somebody telling a depressed child. Don't tell your parents that you're depressed because they'll stop you for whatever you're going to do. And no regulation. None. And Biden tried to start some, but Trump immediately erased it. He doesn't want any regulation on it because those people are giving him lots of money. There's too much money in the system. And too few people have all the money. So now it's, like I said, it's a club. The 100 Billionaire Club is gathered together right now to celebrate the New Year together and toast how they've taken over this planet. And that ain't no joke. And if you try to say something about it, they say, oh, he's a communist! And people buy into it. They go, yeah, he's a communist. wait, they take the boot out of their mouth long enough to talk, because these are bootleggers. And the truth is this. Then I'm going to get out of here, but this is the real point of everything, really, is there's a certain segment of this population of the world, not just here, human beings, who want to be led. They want to be told what to do because they're too stupid to be free. They can't navigate freedom. They need structure, and they need someone to give them the structure and tell them what to do so that they know what to do with their lives, because they don't have enough imagination or gumption or the freedom of thinking to think and do for themselves. So they want someone to tell them what to do, and that's where people like Trump come along and take advantage of that. And here we are. It's like, the grand experiment worked as long as the right people were in charge of it. And now, when the experiment has grown to where, everyone has a shot, they go, we got to change this up because this ain't working for us. We got to stay in charge. So the 100 billionaires are going to figure out a way that they can keep the same structure in place and convince you that they're not fucking you over on a daily basis. And the bootlickers buy right into it. Anyway, again, I'm going to reiterate what I said in the beginning of the show. When I started this show in March, I had a very loyal following of about 5 people. Those people are still here with me. But there's a lot more of you here now. A lot of new people. And like I said, people all over the world. People in England, Germany, Canada watching this show. And I want to thank you sincerely from the bottom of my heart. I don't know how you found me, but thank you. And help me out. Like I said, tell your friends. Tell other people to tune in. Please like, subscribe if you haven't. You can message me at Bruce Leonard Leans Left at Outlook.com. If you'd like to send me an email or something, or tell me to shut the fuck up, or that you love this show, or whatever you want to say. I welcome the feedback. Anyway, I will be back on Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm here every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Every week, unless something happens in life and causes me not to be able to do it. But anyway, thank you very much, and I'll be back Thursday at 6 o'clock. Good night.